You are now listening to Dear Dope Chick, a weekly podcast created to inspire and energize women to live life on their own terms. I'm your host, Felicia, and here's today's dose of dope. Dear Dope Chick, welcome and welcome back. I'm so glad you decided to stop by. I want to know, are you ready to take some action today? Are you? For those of you who are new here, haven't been here in quite a while, or have been down since day one, Dear Dope Chick is an action-based podcast. So what does that mean? That means that every single episode, you are challenged to take one small step that aligns with living life on your own terms. That means you're taking one small step today that aligns with the lifestyle that you most desire. So you have a choice. You always have a choice. You've always had a choice. Every single waking moment of your life, you have a choice. You get to decide what path you will take. Now, do we mindlessly engage in activities that lead us down a path of destruction because we are not putting in the effort to redirect our lives? Absolutely. And that's where personal accountability and responsibility comes into play. What are you willing to do for yourself today? Now, you can decide to take some action. Like I said, it's up to you. I encourage you to really reassess where you are right now and decide whether or not you want to continue down this path or if you are willing to take a different route to get to where you want to go. You do not have to continue down this path. You can divert, redirect, and keep going. Even when you are using the GPS, if you take a turn prematurely or if you are going down the street where they have not directed you to go, it will recalculate your steps. So are you willing to recalculate right now? Recalculate your steps and go down the path to live that lifestyle that you most desire. You owe it to yourself to steer your life in the direction that you've always wanted to go, and you can do that today. Like all of our previous episodes, this episode will continue building. So if you haven't heard any of our previous episodes, go ahead and take a listen. Not right now, obviously you're listening to this one, but when you get an opportunity, definitely take a listen to all of our previous episodes. Since day one of this episode, you have been encouraged to have a notebook with you so that you can complete these activities and write down your progress. I am still encouraging you to utilize that notebook and see your progress as you go. Progress and see how much of a change you have made. Sometimes we can't see where we've come from when we're in the thick of it. So have something there so that you can look back and say, damn, I did that. I did that. I made that change. I said I was going to do that and I did that. So have your notebook ready and definitely take a listen to any of the previous episodes that I have recorded. All right, so today's action is to turn your problems into improvements. So problems are pretty much just unwelcomed situations, experience, circumstances that we face that don't align with our current desires. That's really what problems are. It's just when we see something and we think it's problematic, it's really something that just doesn't align with who we are and our core values and what we feel as though our life path or where we feel as though our life path should take us. So today, instead of complaining, what about reframing what we deem as problematic into a situation or a circumstance or an experience worth improving? Is it really problematic or are you unwilling to change? Like, is it really still a problem or are you unwilling to change? In this instance, it's not about what you can do. I know that we can do a lot of things. We are full of potential. We are boundless in possibility. We have so many opportunities out there that we can take advantage of. This is a fact. But it's not about that. It's about what we are willing to do. What are you willing to do to improve your problematic situation right now? Will you call and reach out to that person to resolve that conflict? Will you decide that the relationship is no longer worth entertaining and sever ties? Will you decide enough is enough? And even though the holidays are coming up, you won't touch that problematic food? You know, the food that leaves you with bubble guts and takes your body days and weeks to recover from those foods? Will you choose to save the cash instead of blowing it on yet another I need it impulse purchase? Will you ask yourself why and see if the item sparks joy before deciding to bring it home? Will you practice self-restraint before commenting on something that has absolutely nothing to do with you, regardless of how strong of an opinion you may have on the situation or the circumstance or the experience? Are you willing to get rid of all the junk and stuff you've accumulated over time before deeming your house as unlivable or not spacious enough? Are you willing to reframe how you address and see a problem and utilize that information? Because all problems are just a reflection of what is going on in your mind. What you see as a problem is just a reflection on what is going on in your mind and how you can use this opportunity to reframe how you see it. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to look deeply at your point of view and change the way that you are viewing this world? Because everything is not problematic. Now, will you have problems? Will we struggle in life? Absolutely. We all struggle. Struggles are not necessarily problems. Challenges, sure. It can be a challenge to get over some things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's unsolvable. It also doesn't mean that by accepting that some things don't change, that we totally agree with that. We don't have to agree with it to accept it. It's okay to accept the things that we cannot control. It is okay to accept what life is handing over to us. Can we make improvements? Absolutely. Are you willing to make those improvements today? Over the course of the week, when you see an area in your life that doesn't align with who you are, work to improve it, however small that may look. So, for example, let's say you need to drink more water. It's been discussed, you know it, you need more water. So, what can you do? Taking a cup of water before drinking anything else can help you solve that problem. So, let's say you want a sip of soda. And you're like, dog, I really need some soda. For every sip of soda that you take, drink a cup of water. You need more water in your system. That doesn't deprive you from sodas, but it also gives you the water that your body needs to function. Can you do that? Are you willing to do that? I know you can, but are you willing to do it? Are you willing to make that change in your life? Let's say you need more money. Everybody always talks about how they need more money, need more money, need more money. You have options. Call yourself out before making impulse purchases. You can use cash only as a means to pay. Are you willing to use a budget? If not, there are other options. You can potentially have your paycheck direct deposited into multiple accounts. So you set up different accounts for different things, i.e. bills, housing, emergencies, personal spending, etc., etc., and only use your personal spending account to get what you think is necessary for you. So your new clothes, your new shoes, your hobby supplies, all of those things come out of your personal expenses account. Then you don't have to worry about a budget per se. You've already budgeted, but it's doing it directly, so you don't have to worry about that. That is an option. Are you willing to do that? If not already, use your gifts as a means of service. Do you bake? Bake for others. Do you knit? Knit for others. Do you write? Write for others. Are you willing to do that to get the money that you need? It's not that you can't. Again, it's not that you can't. Are you willing? All right, hang tight. I'm coming back with my final thoughts after this. Show notes for this episode and all past episodes can be found on adailydoseofdope.com. That is adailydoseofdope.com. Join the community. Come on, fam, join the community. Every day is full of encouragement, inspiration, and is designed to ignite the flame of passion into action. Enjoy daily texts and emails. Have the opportunity to discuss with other dope chicks and really start the transformation that is living life on your own terms. adailydoseofdope.com. I cannot wait to see you there. So my final thoughts are this. I know you can do a lot of things. You have the potential. What are you willing to do to get what you want? This isn't a rhetorical question. It's real life. This is real life. What are you willing to do to get what you want? Use your journal right now and write down what you are willing to do to get what you want out of life. Are you willing to give up life as you know it now to live the life that you most desire? Are you ready to give these things up? Even if you're not, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to redefine how you are in this space? Are you willing to take up space? Are you willing to show up for yourself? Even when times are hard, are you willing to do that for yourself? Are you willing to risk not looking perfect? Are you willing to show your true self? Are you willing to be completely vulnerable and to be honest with who you are and what you're about? Are you willing to be unapologetic about how you're doing life? Are you willing to improve your problems? Are you willing to be an active participant in your life? Are you willing to be the person that you've always wanted to be? Start that today. What are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for? What circumstance are you waiting for? None of that shit matters. What matters most is your willingness to take action. So take it. Take the action today. Behave as if it's already done for you. Behave as if this life that you've always desired is happening for you right now. Behave as if that's what the deal is, because it is. And until you start behaving that way, you won't see the changes that you want to see, because your mind is still stuck on whatever else you had going on before. Your mindset is still there. So you're not able to really be in these moments. You're not able to really understand and see that life is working out for you. You can't see it because you're so stuck somewhere else. It's not a problem. It's a chance to improve. Are you willing to improve your situation? I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to sit, to listen, to learn, to implement. Thank you. And most importantly, I want to thank you for being you. I'll see you in the next episode. For more dope messages, be sure to visit adailydoseofdope.com and become a member. Also, cop your dope merch at deardopechick.com and follow us on all of our social media at Dear Dope Chick, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, be you, be dope. Love, P.